It's no surprise to many of you that Wake County is one of the best places to live, work, and play. And now we have reached an enviable milestone to back that claim. Recently, Wake County's population reached the 1 million mark. Wake County gains an average of 40 new residents each day due to net migration. In addition to net migration, the county's population has a net natural increase of 22 residents per day due to births. Joining us to explain how we reached that milestone is Sharon Peterson, Long-Range Planning Administrator with Wake County Community Services, and Rebecca Tippett, Director of Carolina Demography, Carolina Population Center at UNC Chapel Hill. Thank you so much for being here. So Sharon, how long have you and your team been thinking about reaching the million mark, and how long did it take you to figure out exactly when the county would hit this enviable milestone?
Actually, we first started in 2011 after the 2010 census counts were released by the Census Bureau, and we were at about 900,993 residents. But this summer, we started looking at the most recent release from the Census Bureau, which is a July 2013 estimate of about 975,000. And that we were then realized that we were at the point where we could reach perhaps a million in 2014 instead of the projected 2015. And I have a clip with me actually that illustrates how we actually calculated.
Okay, let's go to that video.
Wake County will reach 1 million in population in 2014. Here's how we calculated that number. We first must determine average growth per day. We start off with 974,289, the population estimate as of July 1st, 2013. We subtract 901,018, the estimate base as of April 1st, 2010. We divide by the elapsed number of days, which is 1,187. This equals Wake County growing at 61.73 people per day, or around 62 people per day. We then determine the date of the millionth resident. We take a million and subtract 974,289, which was the population estimate as of July 1st, 2013. We divide by 61.73, the number of people growing per day, which equals 416 days after July 1st, 2013, or Wake County growing into 1 million people during the week of August 18th, 2014.
How close are the estimates, and how do we really know how good these numbers are?
We really won't know officially until the 2020 census. That's the official head count that the federal government uses. But prior to that, in next year, there'll be an annual estimate update from the Census Bureau. And it's a possibility that we could reach a million in that estimate release. We anticipate, though, definitely with the 2015 release, which may be in March of 2016.
Okay, and with the 62 people per day, which is different from what I opened up with 40 new residents, 62 people total per day, where are they coming from?
So we have two components to population increase. You're here because you were born here or you moved here. And so most of those people are moving here. About 40 out of those 62, almost 2/3 are net migrants. The other 22 are due to what we call natural increase. That means that there are more births than there were deaths. So when we're talking about net migration, about 9 of those 40 people per day are moving here from another county in the state. Another 9 are coming from other countries, and the remainder are coming from other states around the United States, particularly New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, but as far away as California and other places are sending us residents regularly.
Okay, and the quality of education, well documented here in Wake County, whether it's through K through 12 or the Wake Tech or the four-year colleges and universities. Is there any data on the education of Wake's new residents?
Yes, so when you look at new migrants who are 25 or older, 3/4 of them have a bachelor's degree or higher. The ones who are kind of post-high school, not yet 25, a lot of them are moving here to obtain a college degree. So I think one of the most common migrant profiles, if you look at people coming into the county, are 18-year-olds with a high school diploma moving here from another county in North Carolina, likely because they're going to a place like NC State or one of the other universities in the county.
There's another factor too in calculating growth. What is that?
So another factor would be how many people are being born versus how many people are dying. It's called kind of the natural increase. So when you have more births than deaths, it's called natural increase. More deaths than births, it's natural decrease. Wake County has consistently had natural increase for the past 30 years or even longer. That's the most recent data I've been looking at, so I will plead the fifth on prior to that. But that's partly driven by the migrants, because the migrants are very young, and young people are much more likely to have babies and less likely to die than older people. So it's kind of a virtuous cycle of growth. You have people who are moving here, then they're more likely to have children, and both of those factors are driving up Wake County's overall population growth.
So if we keep growing, any idea when Wake County will hit that 2 million mark?
Yes, unofficially, that 2 million mark would be hit in 2054. And that's based on a net average of 25,000 people per year coming into the county, or the natural increase as well. So let's try and see who's going to be here actually to see that 2 millionth person enter into Wake County.
Okay. And before we go, we do want to mention this, that there's a special section of the county's website devoted to Wake Hits a Million milestone. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, on wakegov.com, on our homepage, we still have our population counter up. And since we exceeded reached 1 million in August 22nd, our counter now has us at 1,000,000, about 750 people. And there's clips of both how we use the calculations that we use to reach 1 million, and also the Board of County Commissioners' recognition of that feat on August 18th.
Okay. Sharon Peterson, Long Range Planning Administrator with Wake County Community Services, and Rebecca Tippett, Director of Carolina Demography. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.